So we head over to Challenge Cup. Belle, why don't we look at what happened with our Reign
Our
here over the
OL
past week?
Reign, yeah. So they pulled out a win against the Portland Thorns on April 2nd. Player of the game was Jess Fishlock with 1 assist, 3 shots, 3 fouls sustained, and 90 plus 5 minutes. And I did ask Charles before the show started why it wasn't
Rose Lavelle.
Rose who scored the goal that we went with as our player of the game, but of course he said Jess is kind of the heart of the team here.
If I'll have you, maybe I'll give you my Paramount Plus subscription so you can watch these games, because all the subscriptions are annoying. I get that.
Yes.
Right. But as someone who, my parents brought me to Reign games when they played over at Memorial Stadium at Seattle Center, and just watching them fully for every single home game last year and most all of the games on the road, that I was able to watch. Jess Fishlock is the little, I don't want to say little Jess, I apologize. She's really the engine of this team.
Yeah.
If you sit, I tell some of the people I sit with in the press box that we should just have a Jess cam so you can watch what
Jess
she does
at all times.
Just the heart. One league MVP last year, was recognized for that. Has been with the team since its inception. Is just always active, always talking. Like if I didn't have windows in the press box here at Lumen Field, you could hear it. Like at Cheney Stadium, you could hear her talking to her teammates. It's just always active, is running back on defense, is facilitating in the midfield, can still score.
Full-on leader.
Oh, God, yeah. And if you ask anybody in that locker room, I'm sure they would say the same exact thing. Lou Barnes wears the captain's arm patch, but you should almost have 2 for both of them, and I'm sure both would say that about each other. I like Roosevelt, I really do, and I'm really glad that she's part of the Reign. But a lot of that was set up by Jess, and Jess is the heartbeat of that team, so that's why I went with that.
Yeah, makes sense.
So injury news on the first. The players that were out for that game against Portland were Lauren Barnes with a suspension. That's yellow card accumulation, so you get a couple yellow cards that build up. That's all that suspension was.
Yeah.
Alyssa Melanson with a knee injury and Megan Rapinoe with the calf. I know that it was asked if she's going to be fine. She's still progressing, still working on getting back. I know that Laura Harvey, head coach, wants to get her some minutes, but overall they're not really concerned with that injury. Do you want to look at some league news stuff here?
Yeah. On league news here, we have on March 30th, the USWNT negotiations extend talks with U.S. Soccer on new CBA to go beyond March 31st deadline in an effort to reach a deal on equal pay. How long has this actually been going on? Because I feel like it's been forever.
Years.
Yeah.
I know that there was they made some progress that we talked about a few weeks ago. Signing it, I think it was a few months ago, actually signing a deal, but I think more of it's still going on with the women's national team compared to what the men's national team gets.
So let's hope they get what they deserve. I don't think it will accumulate to that, but hopefully they get some sort of negotiation here soon. On March 31st, Hope Solo was arrested, the former Washington Husky and U.S. women's national team keeper charged with driving while impaired, resisting a public officer, and misdemeanor child abuse. Her 2 children were in the car while she was driving impaired.
Yeah, it sucks because, we're all about Seattle sports on this show, right? And to know that she was a Husky, right? And she played for the Reign for a period of time.
Yeah.
She would fit right in with this show, right? But she's just had a lot of controversy, a lot of stuff going on. And especially with this arrest, you don't wish ill on anybody, just wish she'd get some help.
Yeah.
But to have your kids in the car, and do that kind of thing it's just really dangerous. And you wish the best for the kids, obviously, but hope is able to
get some help
in that regard. So the Reign sit at a 2-win, 1-draw record. They sit at first in the Western Division. We don't actually have any games this upcoming week because the women's national team heads into a international break. So their next games are April 14th and 17th. So we'll get to that. We'll look at that next week